song?
Patrick was just on a CV.
Waiting for Dave. Hold out, we're pulling the pin. Alright, so this is camp for tonight.
So after a massive day on the tracks yesterday, Pat and I are heading out to Mansfield early in the morning to try to source some parts. So at the moment we're at the front of K&N 4x4 Automotive.
We're just waiting for a phone call. I've pulled them up to, so hopefully they can come down and I've got that one bolt. We're just hot, you were tired,
We're having some lunch
and all that, so it's about what, 31 degrees at the moment, and yeah. But it's all fun and games until you break something.
Oh well, we'll get it all fixed and we'll be back on our way. So after about 9 hours of driving around Mansfield and making multiple phone calls, we had no luck in finding a replacement bolt. So there was no other option but for Paddy to stay one more night. Not complaining, mate. Alright, so we've quickly just come back to camp and I've just put supplies in my car, tools and all that, and Pat's just got food, water, all supplies he needs to stay if you need to stay a few more nights.
Yeah, so just staying here for one more night, so just on the side of the track, can't do much about it, so car can't move, so yeah, that's where we are tonight.
Beautiful.
Alright, so Shaden, get home safe, no kangaroos. Look after yourself, dude.
So the only option now was to head back into Melbourne and try to source Patrick the part he needs. So it was up to myself and the Prado to get Patrick the part. Apologies for the quality. It's nearly 12 o'clock. We're just in Mansfield now. Turns out servo's shut, so we're just having to get the air inflator out and just pump each tyre up, so we're down to about 25-30 psi. We're in for a long night. Got a couple hours of drive until when we get back home, and then we'll be back out here hopefully about 9 AM, 10 AM tomorrow to save Paddy. And yeah, it's late, we're tired, but we have iced coffee. and V, and just one V.
Alright, so day 2 on 16-mile Jeep track. We're still, stuck on the tracks and all that, so the Lux hasn't moved since day 1. So we're just waiting on for Shaden to come down to save us. So he's picking up the parts from Melbourne, and he's bringing back all the other tools and all that. Bringing my spare CV. I had a spare CV at home and I just didn't bring it because, touring and all that, but always make sure that you bring your parts. This is my new CV that I replaced, completely torn right off, all because of the lower control bolt that houses into the brake unit. That one bolt just bound up everything and essentially tore this thing in half, so can't be having that. So what I'm going to do is come up and grind the end of this CV and put it back into the wheel hub, so this way when I drive, essentially my wheel doesn't cave in on itself. But I can't really do too much until Shaden comes.
Don't worry, mate, I'm coming, and I've brought backup.
Alright, so we're still waiting for Shaden. There's literally nothing to do on the side of the road, so we walked about 450 metres and found this nice little river. So just cooling off here, or waiting for Shaden to get here, get the supplies, and hopefully bring in a couple of mates down that can help us out. But there's a thunderstorm coming, so I don't know if you can hear it or see it, but slowly rolling in. When we were back in Mansfield, I actually did look at the weather and it said it was meant to be nice and sunny. They never get it right, do they? But hey, hopefully we're not freaking fixing up my CV and all that in the rain.
Well, Pat, I think you spoke too soon. So just as we make it to Paddy, starts absolutely pouring down. Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun.
It is absolutely bucketing down with rain. We had to quickly put my awning in because we're absolutely drenched, chucked everything under. Shade finally came, but we cannot do anything because we're stuck in a storm. Oh no. The high country. The big high country. This has got everything. Alright, so we're quickly just chucking everything in Shane's Prado. We're going to come back and get my car, but this is way too dangerous. We're not going to fix my car today. We're pulling the kids. We're just chucking everything that we can. So just rocked up at Mansfield Hotel. We've absolutely had a crazy day. Cheeky Palmer and pint. I'm so looking forward to this. It's going to go down so well. Which I don't even know what to say. Cheers, man. Alright, so this is camp for tonight. Massive shout out to this hotel. They heard exactly what happened and were able to squeeze us in. So literally just going to have a few beers, enjoy the sunset, and just have an early one. So I'm keen, mate. Yeah, alright, cheers, mate.
Alright, so we're number 8. We've got number 9. What do we got here? We've got number 10. And we've got number 30. I'd hate to be the poor sucker who lives up there.
Alright, so it's about 6 o'clock in the morning. We've just woken up, so we're just going to quickly find a coffee shop in Mansfield and then get our day started. So this is why you never camp in the forest when there's a full storm happening. Even though it's not that big, if this shit lands on your head, yeah, you're a goner. Even in your car, yeah, it wouldn't go well. Don't worry, mate, I'll give you a hand. After stressing all night and wondering if the Lux was damaged from the storm, we finally arrived to see she was unharmed. We got straight onto the tools to try and fix her so we could get ourselves out of here.
So this is what we're working with right now. A workstation. We've got about 3-4 hours to do it before it starts bucketing down with rain. So don't know how much we're going to film, but we're on a bit of a time limit.
So this right here is the one bolt that fell out. So from losing this one bolt here, I've completely lost all drive to my car. Well, where I literally don't have steering or anything. I've still got like front steering, but the second I start reversing, my wheel starts bowing out and starts crab crawling. So this one bolt fell out here. They've got a replacement here. So hopefully we can line her up and get her fixed in, and then off we go.
So what we're doing here, we're just cutting the CV open because there needs to be a CV in, so then your wheel nuts don't screw up. So
essentially what we need to do is re-chuck the CV in so the whole wheel doesn't collapse on itself, because there's a lot of weight, you know, we've got a few ton, you know, resting on that. So we need to just re-chuck that back in. If you can take that out, blind it off, then literally we can just chuck this whole thing. Alright, so we've just grinded off the CV, so we're going to quickly chuck this back into the wheel so she doesn't cave in on itself, and then I'm just trying to get the lower control arm bolt in, essentially, but I'm just having a little bit of issue. She's not lining up, so I'm trying to get a bottle jack to physically push it up so it's level, but hopefully she goes in well.
Let's bolt.
It's really scary to think this one bolt has crippled my car. So what we're going to do, so you can clearly see, we're going to re-chuck the CV back in here, because if you drive with this, without that CV part hooked into that part there, potentially, and you're pretty much going, it's going to happen, it can actually cave in on itself onto your wheel bearings, because there's so much weight onto that piece. So make sure if you ever do a CV, you completely rip it out from here. You take it out from there, seal it all up, you completely put the other end back in there, so the whole wheel doesn't cave in on itself. So we quickly tried to get the CV in, but there's literally no room, so I'm just going to start the car and let the power steering just turn it so we've got more room to play with.
Alright, so guys, when we're doing this, just remember, Pad and I are not mechanics. We know a little bit about cars, but definitely not a lot. So there's probably definitely better ways to do this. So make sure when you're out on the tracks, make sure you know your car in to out, so you're not stranded like we are. So yeah. We're doing well though, making progress. So
don't take our advice, but learn from our mistakes.
Exactly right. That's what it's all about. Alright, let's do it. We're making killer process, super happy with it. Storm's come through in about three hours now. So yeah, hopefully we'll be out of here. Ooh.
Well, it's gone pretty well, so we should be out within the next easy half an hour. All we need to do is chuck the wheel on. Unfortunately, you didn't catch it. We weren't filming it, but we had to turn the tyre to the right just to get the CV back in, because there physically wasn't enough room. Yeah. So just getting that angle, we were able to slip it back in nice and easy and without forcing it. Now she's in, and we're just going to put the wheel on so we can actually tighten essentially the end of that CV bolt.
Yeah. CV bolt, and then you kink around, then you split pin, hub back on, wheel nuts on, we're good to go. Pat's coming in 2-wheel drive when we get home. Pat's got a spare CV, we'll replace that, and the Luxie will be good again.
Well, there's no point fixing the CV right now. We've got the spare CV in the Prado, but if anything goes wrong, we know for a fact that it's going to be pissing down with rain at 3 o'clock, so let's do it where we're safe and, you know, in a controllable condition. This is not controllable. And when it was raining last night, it bucketed. So hard, we're out of it. We're getting out of here.
Let's do it.
Yo.
Quick wheel nuts.
Where'd you put them?
They're in the hub.
Where's the hub?
There, Pat. Oh.
Alright, she's in.
Beauty. Alright, so just getting the split pin through, then the hub's on.
Alright,
tied Pat's wheel nuts. We're done.
Anyway,
good work.
We're set. Alright, so we're finally done. That roughly took about 45 minutes to do. Yeah, a bit of a mess and all that, so, but hey, we've got it in. My car's drivable now, that's the main thing. So I've just got to take it really easy. Because we've actually put like garbage bags on the CV, sorry. I've got to be really careful I don't get water inside, because she's not 100% sealed. But when I get home, I'm going to completely drain out the front diff, put all new diff oil in, and then go from there.
Alright, Luxie's first drive. Let's see if the steering works. Fingers crossed. He can turn. He's all good. The Luxie is back, baby. Where?
We're back on the road.
He's stoked.
Yeah.
After we finished the bush repair, we wasted no time and hit the tracks again before the storm blew in.
Hey Paddy, you got a copy, mate?
What's up?
What a trip this has been, eh?
Dude, this trip, I literally, the Vic High Country has thrown everything at us.
The current conditions are unreal out here.
Yeah, that's the way, man. At least the Luxie's all fixed. She's driving all right.
Yeah, dude, she's driving smoothly. Still in two-wheel drive, so I'm not keen to activate in four-wheel drive. But yeah, look, two-wheel drive, she's doing well.
Good to hear, mate. Well, big things coming soon, isn't there?
Mate, we've got some big things happening for Knock Loose, so guys, make sure you guys stay tuned because there's a few big surprises coming up your way.
That's the way, mate.
Well, let's wrap it up here, and what a trip!
Dude, we're definitely coming back here and we're going to explore way more.